I'm feeling like a brand new me. Brand new, brand new. Brand new, brand new. I blew away the clouds I was standing under. Traded all my rainy days for a little summer. I fly so high right now that I might not come back down. Dancing to my own beat, cherry on the top, sweet. Everything around me is looking up. If life is what you make it, I'ma celebrate it. I'm feeling like a brand new me. For the very first time, I'm where I'm meant to be. I'ma tell everybody I'm feeling like a brand new me. Brand new, brand new. Cloud nine, I just took a little visit and the old me didn't know what I was missing. Seeing so clear, got that 20/20 vision. It was in me all along. All I had to do was listen to that heartbeat down inside of my chest. The little
Oh,
Can you hear him, Ethan?
no, Eric, I think you're muted.
You are not prepared, my friend.
Can you guys hear me now?
Now we can.
I said, welcome to another live. I said, Evan and I are rocking the no hat gang over here and letting the hair flow over here. What's going on, guys? We're back for another live. We're live on Instagram over here. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the things. And we are ready to help you guys scale your video business, talk through any kind of challenges or questions you guys have. We're happy to get started. What's going on, guys? How are we doing?
I am doing well.
Let's go.
I worked out earlier today so I could be more prepared for this.
Let's
So
go. I love it. I know, dude. I just got back from a workout. It is I love doing a midday because it just gives you like a little bit of a break, right?
you
It's
work
like
out inside or outside? I work out outside, so it sucks.
inside. Yeah. Inside. I'm not at well, I'll wake up, I'll like work, right? And then I'll go to Lifetime, I'll work out in the middle of the day. And then typically I'll come back, work, and then at the end of the day, I'll do like my weighted vest and I'll walk like 2
Sure.
miles or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my heat kind of exposure throughout
Yeah.
the day. So,
No, here in Texas it sucks. So I'm
man, it's pretty rough here too. It's
yeah.
not Atlanta's not the best.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me get everybody in here. We're gonna wait for some comments here, guys, but we'd love to know A, where are you calling in from, and B, what kind of questions do you have around scaling your video business? We're happy to help. See what we can do. We see just got out of a meeting. I made it. What is going on, dude? Happy you're here. Give us some background on your production company. Rigo says what's going on, Rigo? How's it going? Guys, what are some things that kind of come top of mind this week? Like, what are some things that you guys have been working through with clients? Like, I'll let you guys kind of take it a little bit here.
I think for me, it's if I could dilute it down to a word, it's separation. So obviously, when you come and you work here at Master Filmmaker with us and you invest in yourself, we give you a blueprint, right? But eventually, at some point, you have to separate yourself from even the people inside of our community, right? So how do we do that? And that, I think, is the biggest. It's another little like sub mindset shift that you have to put yourself into. It's like, yeah, we can give you XYZ help, but there is a, how do I really separate myself from other people that can do things? And it's little tiny things that I think can be shifted, but I've been having to, that's been a lot of my feedback for people recently, is how do we take it one step further and really separate yourself from all the other people that can do video?
Yeah. And what are some things that kind of come up for people when you say that? Like how
Sure. So it goes really into two pathways, right? One with the helping them set up their VSL, right? Is really inside of their scripting. How do we differentiate your unique mechanism that's just different than we create content or we run ads or whatever it is that their offer might be, right? Like
Yeah.
you can say those things, but we have to uniquely package them to make you sound differently. Now they can boil down to effectively the things that I just mentioned and be like, that's what they are. But it's presentation and it's packaging. But the other one is, when we start running ads when they start running ads for themselves and they kind of maybe seemingly hit a little bit of a wall or a little bit of I guess I'll say a pushback from quote unquote the market, right? How do you get over that hurdle and how do you separate from even the frameworks that we give, that we kind of hand people, right? We hand them a great framework, but sometimes the verbiage of that framework has to change, you have to separate yourself. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I've been helping people try to overcome lately.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to, I think it was Robert Berlin a couple of days ago on a case study. And one of the things he said is one of the biggest kind of takeaways he had joining the program is like, how do I speak? Like I'm speaking to my market in a different way where I'm actually solving business problems. I'm not just talking about how great my content is, right?
Right.
I think that's absolutely huge for anybody trying to grow is you have to understand you are solving a business problem for these people. You are not just creating content for them, right? And if you can speak that language, hey, what's the ROI of this project, of this thing that we talked about, then you can obviously demand a higher price. You can get the close a lot easier because you're actually solving a real problem for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
So you really have to understand what is it like, what are we solving? Are we getting more leads? Are we getting more calls? Are we helping them with retention? Are we helping them with hiring team members? Are we helping them with, growing and retaining staff that are working for them? It really just depends on what the main problem is and how we're going to help them solve that. So, Happy Out of 3 says locking in a wealth management company I did a brand story for a few months ago, which is awesome, with member profiles for his new team members plus educational videos. That's huge. I love that, dude. It says in your video about the sales process, there is a portion in the meeting where you talk about the 5 pillars and connecting to each problem. What are the 5 pillars and what does that look like? Ethan, you want to maybe touch on that and I can piggyback off you?
Yep. So 5 pillars really is, kind of a 30,000 foot view is connecting, the gap that we built in the discovery portion of the call, which is directly before you get into the pillars, and connecting them from, where are you at, where you want to be, and then how can I help you basically cross the bridge and get there, and then what are the, 5 steps, sometimes it's 4 steps, but yeah, it's basically putting into context, like, what am I going to do? How does it help you? And how is it going to help you get from point A to point B?
Yeah. And you'll create those 5 or 4 pillars. Like that's something we do with our clients when they come on board with us is like, what are those pillars? So it could be like pillar number 1 is like scripting the content. Pillar number 2 is filming it in a way that's going to help them go viral. Step number 3 or pillar number 3 could be, editing the content in an engaging way. Pillar number 4 could be like you're now dispersing and distributing the content for them, which is going to then help them get XYZ result. But the way you want to tie that in is, hey, you know how you told me you felt like the content you're creating isn't really resonating with your market? Well, the first thing we're going to do, now I'm bridging, right? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually script the content so it feels authentic to your brand and the actual problems that you're solving for your customers so that it can insert outcome here, right? So that's how you're bridging because you're basically taking, it's kind of like when a doctor says like, how you said it hurts in your back? Well, we did an x-ray and we actually found out that the main problem you're having is you have a herniated disc. And so what we're going to do is go in there and do XYZ to your back so that you can feel better, right? So it's like you're just taking the problem where they are, the issue they're having, what you're going to do, and then how they're going to get to dream outcome that they want, right? So that's really what you're doing in that stage. That's what the pillars are. So hopefully that answers your question. It says, so it's steps. Yep, exactly. Gotcha. For sure. Yeah. Hopefully that's helpful. And I was talking to Cameron Greenbaum yesterday on one of my coaching calls. I'm trying to remember what he said, but he was basically saying that, what was it? Now I'm blanking. I think he was talking about how he was kind of struggling to build a financial gap with a prospect. And he was like, yeah, he just says it's like they don't have the budget or it's too much money. Should I immediately just discount my services? And I said, no, you have to solve the root of the problem, which is that they don't actually see how this is going to get them an ROI. And so you have to really dig into that and be like, do you see how our strategy is going to help you add XYZ amount of money to your business? And I think a lot of people and video business owners don't really understand how to do that either. So that's why they struggle sometimes to explain it to the client. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so for him, I was like, let's take this and really first figure out what doesn't this person understand, right, within the process and our strategy. How can I alleviate that? And then I can revisit the actual problem that they have and the price point at which we're pitching it. And then when we do that, then we can demand a higher price, right? And I think that's a huge point for a lot of people, and where a lot of people struggle is like they don't actually know how it's going to make them more money. And I use the I use the classic Lamborghini close. I was like, if someone gave you a Lamborghini for $200,000 and they said, hey, it's 10K, but you don't have the money, like, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to go find 10K. Well, then why are you so certain that you'd pay 10K for that, but then you're struggling to pay 10K for video services? Well, the only difference is your certainty in the value of that process or that project. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people struggle with that because they're like, well, if they were really certain it would make them 200 grand, they would pay you 10K for it. But the difference between that thing and this thing is that they don't feel that certain that you're going to actually help them get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're totally sure that Lambo was worth $300,000.
Yeah, you know the value. Whereas when, if you compare those situations, you're like, that's valuable. Whereas the video services, why don't they know that's valuable? And let's solve for that problem. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Exactly. I think that's absolutely huge. Evan, you're gonna say
something? No, I was going to say, it just kind of reminds me of when you did the case study with Matt recently.
Stone?
I love his line when he says, I've spent more money on
sillier things. Yeah, I freaking love that line, dude. I love that line. I was like, man, I love that because it's true. Like I've done it too. I've spent more money on silly.
Sure.
Which is huge. It's just you have to have that confidence and understand how you're going to help someone. London Kyle says, can you go over some of your top packages, pricing, and deliverables? Evan, you want to maybe give some ideas there?
I mean, I'm gonna throw it to Ethan because he usually tees up the.
Give us some top industries first. What are the industries?
So yeah, top industries that I usually recommend. Well, I'll give you top 3 and bottom 3 that I recommend. So top 3 are going to be medical, law, and home services. So like private practice, dental, eye doctors, people like that, law firms. There's a whole slew of those, and then home service, anything from HVAC to roofing to deck builders, home builders. I mean, you look around your house.
Tactical in this, bro. You got to take some notes here. We're getting tactical. I love it.
And then I would say the bottom 3 that I recommend would be things like real estate, restaurants, and nonprofits.
Okay.
In the business world. And then there's other things like music videos that I don't recommend either.
Cool. Quick hot seat pricing. What's an average monthly price point of a retainer? I'd
say in those 3 that are mentioned off, I'd say $4,000 to $6,000 a month, but everybody's pricing is going to vary just based on margins too.
Got it. And then margins are typically what, 70-80% on these?
Yeah, aim for 70. Yeah.
Okay. And then as far as packages and things we're putting in there, typically some organic content, running like a simple ad strategy for them with some short form content, and then like maybe like a couple of testimonials, like some short things, but that would be towards the top end there. Right. All of this to solve the problem of getting them lead gen, typically getting them more attention. Cause I'd say 99% of businesses just need more leads. That's it. Like they just need more lead gen.
All top of funnel content.
Yeah. It's mainly top of funnel.
A brand video is not going to bring you customers. So
yeah, it's that's more of a nurturing play. Is having a brand video. It's like when they get to the page, they see the brand video, they get to know you. But like most of the times these guys don't even have people come into their pages. So like that's the problem in the first place. You got to solve for that first. And that's typically what those packages look like. So London, hopefully that helps. And then there's more. We have a bunch of stuff on our YouTube as well, like pricing packages, stuff like that you can take a look at. Rigo says, man, that's fire tactics. Fill budget is easier depending on the niche that you target. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, if I'm selling like a roofer where their average project is 30 grand and I sell them a $10,000 package, it's a hell of a lot easier to sell that person than the guy.
I literally had a discovery call last night after I was done with all of my stuff here. And the guy, he's a remodeler. He does kitchen remodels mostly. Okay. Yeah. He literally said the same exact thing. He was like, dude, I mean, I do $30,000 kitchens. He's like, you know, like it doesn't matter really what
If
the
we
cost
got you
is or
one
whatever.
client from this
Yeah.
entire video,
Because he
that's gonna
asked
live on
about
your
price,
website
and I was
forever.
like, well, you know,
Yeah.
I want to go create something. I mean, but I do like the classic like range thing where I kind of anchor him a little bit. I'm like, it could be as little as 10K or it could be 50K. It just kind of depends, right? And he was like, oh no, dude, yeah. And he just literally said the same thing, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly how it is. So you want to shoot for those higher level.
Sell someone
deals.
who makes a lot of money. Yeah, sell someone who makes a lot of money from one customer, right? And it is way easier to close them. If the more that person charges to their customer, the more you can charge to them. It's very simple, right?
And that's why, like in home service, I say people like roofers and HVAC and things like that, where a customer is 10, 20, 30 grand.
And there's so many of them. There's so many businesses.
Plumber fixes a leaky toilet and it's like $400 or something.
Yeah, it's huge. I was talking, one other thing I want to talk about too is like we were going over, like, I think James Drake was talking about it on the last coaching call on like people snagging frame. So like when they start the call, the client tries to take over the frame and is just like, what's your price? And I just gave him a lot of tactics that I think would be helpful for you guys too, on like taking that frame back from them. So if you log on to a Zoom meeting and the first thing someone says is like, hey, I just want to know how much it is, right? The way you handle that is like, hey, great question. What we do is we build these packages custom for you. So we really want to understand what it is that you need. And then I'd be happy to give you a price or a package from that. And then you get their agreement on that. And then you take frame and you go back into it. But one of the biggest things I taught them too was you always want to end your sentence with a question to put it back on them. Yeah. What a lot of people do is they're like, hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. Cool. Tell me about what you guys do. And then you're like, oh, well, we do this, this, and this. And then you just say nothing. And then they're like, great, tell me more about that. And then they pounce on you, right? Whereas if you're like, yeah, we do this, this, and this, but tell me a little bit more, Evan, about like, what were you guys looking for specifically when you came in and booked this call with us? Like, how can we possibly help? And then it's back on you again, right? Yeah. Back on you.
And you always want to frame it to their benefit as well.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to sell you something that might be a better solution for somebody else.
Yeah. And I told people, and I think some people, we were talking about this on the coaching call, a lot of people were chiming in, but it's like, I think sometimes people are like, oh, but that's salesy, not telling them how much it is. No, I disagree. I actually think it's more salesy to tell them a price without understanding what it is that you can actually help them with. And if you can help them in the first place, like, to me, that's more salesy. What's less salesy is being like, I don't know if I can help you yet. I genuinely want to figure out if I can help you, and then deciding from there if you can actually help them and then make them an offer, right?
Yeah. Because if you drop that price, then now you're literally having to sell them.
Yeah. And it's lazy. It's lazy, guys. Yeah. Like, it's lazy. You're like, oh, it's, it's 10 grand. It's like, but you don't even, what do you think that person's thinking? They're like, well, I've talked to you for 2 minutes. Like, how could you possibly know if you could actually help me or not? Like, I don't believe anything you're saying. And then you just get compared to everybody else. So it's like, what's the point?
I had a lead opt in yesterday, and they were texting me back through my automation and was like, I was just looking for some pricing. And I had to go down the whole thing. And, I don't even know if I can help you yet.
I need to understand what you need.
Yeah,
what it looks like, right.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And especially when people are coming from ads, right? And that's primarily what we help our clients with, is like building an ads inbound system. So people are booking on their calendar. It's like, you have to control that frame there. So then they understand, okay, like this is my arena, right? I'm going to run the show in a respectful, nice way. And I want to understand if I can even help you in the first place. So, Los Worldwide says, does the package price include ad spend? No, it does not. It does not. It does not. London says, perfect. Thank you.
London answered for us.
Yes. London, dude, you should just hop on here and do our job for us. You're doing great over there. I love it. Ad spend should be separate.
Everybody's going to have different available spend for ads.
Yeah, and I'd say recommend your client to spend at least $500 to $1,000 in the first month, and then you just make the agreement that, like, if they're making a lot of money from the ad spend, like if we're making 3 to 5 to 6 to 1, then we have the agreement. Then, like, let's spend more money if we're making money, right? It's like,
some people do 30 a day, some people do 300.
Exactly, absolutely. Thanks, London, for sure. Yeah, just get London on the live stream for us. I love it. What else, guys? What other questions do we have here? Let me see. I'm looking over at Instagram. Got Eli Jones on here. What's up, dude? Ooh. Sailing to the Bahamas over there. He's cooler than all of us.
Man,
he is cooler than all of us. Let's see. What other questions, guys? And then we're going to wrap it up here real quick. Any other questions around inbound system, ads, getting clients, charging higher prices, all that stuff? Let's see.
Do they reimburse you? Evan, I don't know what you do. I just have them
have them put their card on file for their ads.
Yeah, I mean, there's other little sneaky plays that you can do where it's like if you have like the right kind of business card or something and you earn points, you can do it on your own card and earn points.
Yeah,
and then,
I don't
bill them, but that's
game.
a little in the weeds.
It's a liability.
But most of the time, because what I do when I service my clients is I actually help them set up their business manager and their ads managers to where it's like, if they ever broke ties with me, your stuff is ready to go. You could have the next person come do it. You could do it yourself or whatever. And that kind of is a little bit of added value because most marketers will control, like they'll make an ad account specifically for their client and they run it all.
I actually think that's against compliance now. You can't
do
that anymore. Yeah, I don't think you can do that. So I wouldn't recommend that. I just have them put their own card on file and their own account own ad account.
That's what I typically do.
Yeah, and oftentimes like they're not going to get very far without good creative, right? That's why you guys are in a great position because like Facebook ads is moving to a place where like it's all about how good the creative is. If your creative sucks, like you can't outspend or do these little tricks to like get better leads. You have to have actually good creative, which is why you guys are so valuable to these companies because they need actual creative or people to create creative for their business and they can't do it themselves. And like they can't use AI to do it either, honestly, because they don't know what prompts to put in. They don't know how to edit the video. They don't know how to create the content. Like it's not. So like you guys are in a really good position to create the content, run simple ads for them, and then just charge them a monthly retainer of 5, 6, 7. I've seen 10K a month for that kind of content. So what should our initial ad budget be? For yourself or for your client?
That was my question.
Yeah. If I'm just going general, I'd say start your stuff at $20 a day. And then we see what are the KPIs? Are our cost per click in line? Is our CTR in line? Are we getting quality leads? What's our cost per lead? What's our cost per call? Are we closing deals? Like all that jazz. And that's what we do in our full program, obviously, and what we help our clients with. But typically $20 a day is what I recommend.
Yep. Yeah,
great. So they add you as an advertiser, I guess. Ethan, what were we going to say?
I was going to say, 20 to 30. So what, 600 to 900 a month?
Roughly? Yeah, right around there. But then you're cutting ads after 5 to 10 days if they're not performing. So you're not just letting them run and spending money into the abyss. You are testing, tweaking, making changes, all that kind of stuff. So what else, guys? We're going to probably wrap up here in about 1-2 minutes here. If you have any other questions, drop them below. We are happy to help. This is just like a free forum for us to answer anything that you guys have. Otherwise, we got to get back to our clients and helping them over here. Evan, Ethan, any other things that come top of mind?
I mean, not really. No, I'm just doing my best to keep people up on their saddle of momentum.
Let's go.
So it's a not like you always say, like I love it's a process, not an event statement.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been
doing. It's a volume knob, not a light switch, right?
Yep.
It's not like you just like boom.
Yep.
I'm where I want to be.
I got a win that hasn't been posted yet. Sebastian and Max closed that nonprofit for 10K.
Oh, nice. What'd they close it for?
10K.
Nice. And they're not even doing any shooting, right?
It's editing and consulting.
Heck yeah. I guess I should probably go over wins. Hold on. We're going to go over wins at the end.
We're going to end it on a win note today.
He got on my call about an hour.
London over here just dropping these like vague bombs on us, man. He says VSLs. Bro, I could go on for days on VSLs. VSLs and lead nurturing. Let's quickly touch on it and then we'll do some win stuff. So VSLs, we have a whole script we give our clients, but you want to follow a specific framework. I think I have videos on YouTube going over it. I'm pretty sure I do. I'll drop you that. Lead nurturing, email sequences, 1 email a day, have like a welcome email sequence that goes through like social proof, client results. We have like different sequences for how we do our email sequences. Call and text your leads within 5 minutes of them opting in. That's pretty much what you're looking for. Your cost per call should be anywhere between like $90 to $300. Your show rate should be 60 to 70%. Your close rate should be 25 to 30%, and your average cash is going to
don't just call them once. Call them every day.
No, yeah. cadence for calling 7 days in a row. Legally, you can do that 7 days in a row. And you want to call them within their local time zones. That's what you want to do. So a lot of people just give up on their leads. I can't tell you how many times I go into client accounts and I just call some of their leads and I book like 4 appointments for them. And each appointment for these clients is worth like 15 grand. So I'm like, why are you not calling your leads? You're charging a high ticket service and you can make a lot of money if you just called your leads. So just
yep. And if they don't want you to call them, then they just reply stop. And then,
yeah, I mean, but I always think of it as this frame. People are like, oh, but that's so needy. It's so you're begging.
They came to you. They opted in.
Yeah.
They opted in to your funnel. They reached out to you. That is the frame I take in my mind. Hey, what's going on, Evan? Just had a minute to get back to you. I just had a minute to get back to you. I saw that you reached out to me. Saw you reached out. You put in your information. How can I help? Right. That is way less salesy than most people out here are cold calling, begging for business. They're like in people's DMs, man. I get like 50 of those DMs a day where it's like, what if I could help you do X, Y, Z?
Yeah. All right.
It's like,
yeah.
I love it. I respect it, but it doesn't work because there's no intent. Whereas like if someone opts into your funnel, they had intent, they reached out to you. Right. So I just take that.
I just got an email like that 4 minutes ago.
How do you manage an offer that's in a small town where people can't always afford it? Charge higher ticket prices. Find like roofing companies, home service companies, look at the niche. Because I mean, I think we had Graham Duvall in Maine. You still talk to Graham a bit. When I recorded his case study, he's well above this by now. He did like 300K in a rural town in Maine, like middle of nowhere, local mom and pop businesses. If you can show them the value of how they're going to make more money, they will buy from you. The problem is most of us suck at showing them the value. And that's why they're not willing to buy it.
Yeah.
Like, think about restaurant. You got.
I was gonna say, Evan, would you say most people target like their entire state when they set up their ads?
Yeah.
Or just their city?
It depends. Like, I mean, like in my particular example, I'm in Houston. So it's like we are a huge metropolis. So like I don't have to. Like I can reach, 1 million people, just by putting like a 50-mile radius down the center of downtown. But some people, I call it geographically challenged. Right. So if like you're in a small state like Delaware, it's like, you can drive from one end to the other in a couple of hours. Right. So it's like just target the whole state or maybe even multiple states around it, depending on what you're able to do. But I'm geographically challenged in the fact that I live in this huge place where it takes forever to get to go from one place to another. But I have the luxury of population density to not really have to do that.
The other option too is you could run an offer across different states and subcontract work to people.
You can, yeah. If you have the infrastructure set up for that and you have the relationships, then by all means.
Absolutely. Foundry, and this is gonna be the last question. Still call if it's a purchase list? No, that is illegal per TCPA. Do not do that, please. Unless you have express intent. I think you can call them, but there's more restrictions around it. I don't know. Don't take my advice on that. But the purchase, like, don't buy lists, guys.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. Like,
this is not
you
legal.
have to run ads to get exclusive leads for yourself. Don't buy lists. Like, people are like, oh man, I got this list. It's so cheap. It's like, yeah, because no one's gonna answer. Like, that's the reason. Sorry. Let's go over wins though. 1 sec here, and then I know everyone's got to run. All right, wins. Cameron, 2 leads came in, both qualified from ads. Going to hit a grand slam soon, which is huge. Chandler closed a $55K deal on the 29th, 2 days ago. I'm recapping from the week. Matt Stone, $6,800 in contract. Robert Morrissey, $17,500 for a contract. I recorded this case study with Will, $69K in 1 day. Mace had his first client since joining the program. It was a referral, but he used our sales framework. Felt really good, he said. What else? Yeah. And then, bro, I don't know where you got 80K day. I think it was a 69K day, but that's 80K total. I think Will's done since joining, right? Ethan?
Oh no, I fat fingered it. Yeah, it was.
Oh, you're good. I was like, don't listen to that. It's 69K. Dustin got his first appointment from reactivation, and then Tori got a 28K package that she's closed, which is awesome. Let's see if I had anything else. Last question, London. We are going to answer it for you. About to jump on a call with a local flooring company. I believe you had a step-by-step sales script that I could look over. Where can I find it? On my YouTube. It's a $10 million sales script. It's on YouTube. So feel free to use that. Sweet, guys. That's all I got. If you want to learn more about how we can help and what we do this all day, every day. We've had 700 one-to-one clients at this point. If you want to learn more about what we do, you can click the link below, schedule a call with our team, or go to masterfilmmaker.com. If you're on Instagram, go to the link in my bio. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one, and we'll talk to you in a bit. See you guys.
See you guys.
The little voice in the